So we finally made it to the Finch jump. And it was everything we imagined, wasn't it? Anticlimactic, but still, it was hot. Let's get into this episode. Guys, I'm not going to say sorry because you all know. Booked and busy, pilot season. Remember, this happens to me every time we get to the end of the wire with The Bachelor specifically because it ends right around pilot season and that's when I'm my busiest. So listen, it's who I am. It's who I am. But I will say this, it's been a profitable pilot season, guys. Each year, each pilot season, I grow more and more. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for what's on the horizon. And thank you all for being so understanding. You always are, but I just think I always need to let you guys know that because I appreciate it. I really, really do. Because before I used to feel so much pressure to get stuff up to you and I wasn't normal. And I wasn't happy with the outcome, but I just felt rushed to get it up to you because I didn't want to wait so long. However, you guys have let me know it's cool, it's okay, you will wait. And I thank you so much because it's released so much off of me. And now I'm able to give you the good quality that I'm known for right here on NikkiNicoleStar TV. The Bachelor Whisperer is back. Let's get it. Guys, can we talk about how Cassie don't want to be here? We open up where we left off with the last episode. Cassie, Tay Tay, and Skipper all have roses. Tay Tay and Skipper are so happy, but Cassie is like, how in the hell can I get out of this situation? She looks like she did not think that she would make it this far. I honestly think that Cassie wanted to be cut when Kaylin got cut because she wants to be the Bachelorette. She's not into Colton. I don't know what this dude is doing, but he is turning these women off. I can't believe it. I have never in my life watched a season where like none of the contestants want to stick around for the Bachelor or Bachelorette. This has got to be a record at this point. So Tay Tay gets the first fantasy suite. Listen, as soon as he said that she was getting the first fantasy suite, I was just like, oh, Colton, we starting off strong? Are we starting off strong? Okay, Tay Tay, let them know. Show them what it's made of, sis. I was like, girl, you got to get your Jodeci playlist. You know what I mean? Make sure you put it on him because if the next morning Colton don't have a wave cap, Tay Tay ain't do her job. Tay Tay ain't do her job. We have the ability to transform. Child. Speaking of transformation, do you guys watch Are You the One? Because my friend just sent me this clip and I'm going to put it in... I'm gonna put it in this video. It's this guy, I think his name is Andrew Couture. How you doing? Somebody put like a before and after picture of him, and let me tell you something. Oh, a black woman was all up in his life because that boy switched ethnicities within a year. So Colton and Tay Tay have their dinner right before the fantasy suite, and Tay Tay is doing everything that she is supposed to do, right? Like at this dinner, she's like pulling focus to the titties. You know what I mean? Because I was like, girl, don't play me. We all know that trick. Oh my goodness. Can you just make sure my boobs don't fall out? Yes, girl, get him ready. She was doing the foreplay. You know what I mean? She was getting him hot and bothered, pulling focus to the titties because white boys love titties. They love themselves some titties. You know what? Unless... all white boys love titties except for Italian boys. Let me tell you something. Italian men, child, they love a backside. Especially a black one. Let's move on. Philly sisters know what I'm talking about. Hey, South Philly. Anyway, can we talk about how Tay Tay revealed to Colton? I hate it. Oh, guys, this is what I told you. This is what I talked about in the beginning when I was just like, I hate the virginity talk because Colton being a guy, they're making it like it's a cool thing. It's not the same for women. If you are a woman who is not a virgin, you are either made out to be somebody very promiscuous where you have to like shame the fact that you were promiscuous with your own body. Or if you are a woman that hasn't been promiscuous, is something wrong with you. Like we can't win, right? We cannot win. So this conversation of Tay Tay talking to Colton about her husband being the first guy she's ever had sex with, I was just like, If Colton wasn't a virgin, you wouldn't have this conversation, because she was talking about having sex with this guy in a way as if she was ashamed. You know what I mean? Like, he was the first guy I ever had sex with. Not like ashamed, but like just letting Colton know that I'm semi-pure. And I'm not saying pure like that's how it should be. I'm saying pure in the context of the stereotype. And she talks about how when they got divorced, she felt like a failure and she felt bad that she had gave something to him. And I was just like, girl, you wouldn't talk like this if Colton wasn't a virgin. And I just hate how the women talk about sex on the show or having sex on the show, because it's just, it never looks favorable for them. You know what I mean? Like, they're all talking out of shame. It's just like, oh my goodness, I had another penis besides Colton's. I'm bad. Girl, what? Live your best life. Anyway, she talks about regretting having been with him because he eventually cheats on her. And she's just like, he was my first everything and he cheated on me. And she felt, you know, she was talking as if she felt humiliated, you know, like she made a bad choice or whatever. I'm like, girl, you fell in love and it didn't work out. It's okay. We are humans. You get one life. Pick up your bed and walk, right? But can I just say, I saw a picture of Tay Tay's husband and I was like, first of all, honey, you did him a favor. It's always the tender-eyed dudes who pull these stunts. This is why, ladies, you cannot give a guy that's hard on the eyes a chance, because ugly dudes will start to act like they are the bee's knees when a cute girl give them a shot. I'm telling you, they do it all the time. An ugly guy is so nice and humble when he ain't getting no coochie. Then when you put it on him and you let him know that I'm here for your heart, not for your features, then he start getting cocky and do stuff like cheat on you. Don't get them ugly guys chances. Don't do it. So, let's talk real here, okay? Because we always do. So, Colton and Tay Tay head on over to the fantasy suite. And Colton is getting a little antsy. You know what I mean? Like, he keeps on kissing her, pulling her in. Every time they're walking around the room, he's kissing her. They're looking at the bed. He's kissing her. They're looking at the tub. He's kissing her or whatever, right? So, then we cut to a confessional where he's just like, well, I haven't had sex, but I'm experienced in other ways. Guys, I wish I watched this show live with you guys, because as soon as he said that, I said, listen, why don't they listen to me? I told y'all, I'm the Bachelor whisperer. Didn't I say this? I said it from the beginning of this season. Even before they started filming, I said, this dude may be a vaginal virgin, but let me tell you something. Colton can eat the hell out of some coochie. I'm telling you, he is the cunnilingus king of his little town. Guys, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Because when he said that, I knew exactly what he was talking about. Colton has seen a bunch of coochies. It's a lot of girls in that town that can tell you a thing or two about his skills. Let's stop playing these games. Come on. We're all adults here. I'm experienced in other ways, and gave that little chuckle. I was just like, oh, you about to take Tay Tay to town. Girl, tell us how it went. Tay Tay, what's the tea? How he do, girl? Because I know he had them brown legs wrapped around that big head. I know for a fact Colton took Tay Tay to Wakanda. I didn't mean to say that. I am a mess. The next day, Colton, I'm a mess. So the next day, Colton and Tay Tay both talk about how, you know, they did things. Cunnilingus king. Yes. But they did not have penetration. Like, he didn't put his penis in her vagina. His penis. And he said that he didn't do that because he didn't want to, he wasn't there with her, so he didn't want to take it to the next level because he wanted to have sex with somebody that he's in love with. He said he's falling for Tay Tay, but he's not in love with her. Why the hell you got her here? Like, Colton, I feel like Colton is going to, after his season, I feel like he's going to replace Ari and be the villain, because how he moved this whole episode, I ain't like it. Then we cut to Tay Tay, who got to my heart, because you could tell that she felt less than, you know what I mean? Because she was obviously ready to be intimate with him, but his apprehension, like, you know what I mean? Like, it let her know everything that she needed to know. And what that was that he wasn't there with her. And she was feeling like she did something wrong. And I'm like, no, Tay Tay, you did everything right. First of all, sis, can we be real? Bachelor Nation has been saying it. You're too good for him anyway. All these chicks are. Colton is not on your level. And I feel so bad that she feels like she's not enough for him. Colton? Girl, please. And can I just call BS on Colton? Because he's saying in his confessional that he's not there with Tay Tay. He's falling in love with her, but he's not completely in love with her. But yet you're head over heels in love with a chick that hasn't even said that she likes you. Cassie has not even said that she likes Colton, let alone love him. And he's in love with her. I knew I wouldn't like you as the Bachelor. I knew it. I knew it because we didn't even get to freaking Skipper. And we saw the preview and she is crying and packing her bags. I'm like, oh, Colton, you're about to be the next Ari. The next fantasy suite is Cassie. And can I say, what in the abducted in plain sight is going on with this date? Cassie doesn't want to be here. And the whole time I'm watching this date, I'm like, production, free this girl, please. She doesn't want to be here. Like, Colton is just like being very effective with her, calling her his girlfriend, like, and Cassie just looks mortified the whole time. And I just feel bad. I'm just like, Cassie at this point has been kidnapped by the Bachelor. We are watching a kidnapping by the Bachelor. She does not want to be with him. And I don't know why nobody has stepped in up to now to say, you know what, Cassie, go home. Like, you obviously are distraught. You no longer want to be here. Like, the exposure she no longer cares about. This free trip she no longer cares about. This free hotel stay and free 3 meals a day. Cassie don't care. She just wants to go home. Colton, it's you, boo. Something is up with you. So now let's talk about how Colton gave Cassie her out. The whole date, this chick was looking for a way to get the hell out of here, right? So Colton slips up and tells her, and I think the producer probably told him to say that. He slips up and tells her that her father did not give him his approval to marry Cassie. And as soon as Colton said that, Cassie lit up like a Christmas tree and was like, there it is. And she was just like, oh my goodness, what? Oh, I'm so confused. Then she starts crying in her confessional. I'm like, yes, girl, give your best days of our lives audition, please, because you know this is your out. So she just starts becoming confused and talking to Colton about being confused. And I just thought that they knew that I would make the right decision. And the fact that her father didn't give his approval, she's just like, oh, I don't know what to do now. Work 'em, girl. Work 'em. And you know what? After watching everything that Cassie pulled, I'm going to say this. Please don't throw tomatoes. I wouldn't mind her as the Bachelorette. Let me tell you something. Cassie gave one of the most explosive episodes this entire season. Like, mama played this game so good. I'm like, did you just out-scam the scam king? Cassie and her whole family scammed Colton. Wow, because out of nowhere, all of a sudden, her father decides to show up right when Colton says that your dad didn't give me his approval. Somehow on the same day, the dad shows up to Cassie's room and tells her that he doesn't feel comfortable with her marrying Colton or getting engaged. And then all of a sudden, Cassie starts telling her father about her confusion, and they have this moment. And I want to say this. Michael Lohan 2.0 is a lot. He is definitely doing this for the cameras, but baby, he was making some good points. Like the things he was saying to her, he was just like, when I saw your mom, I knew from that moment, I knew that I wanted to be her. And Cassie's like, well, I don't have that. He's like, well, this isn't the one. Like, he's telling his daughter the truth, whether it's a script or not. He was giving her some really good, valid points. It made sense to me. And that's why I was just like, Cassie, this right here, this whole breakdown, this whole storyline, sis, you can be the Bachelorette for me, because I know her and that messy family, guys, they're going to give us a show. They are going to give us a show. They are calculated and smart. This episode was so good. Cassie got her Emmy. That Emmy she's been crying for, she got it. She got it. You know what I just realized? Cassie is Peter in a blonde wig. This is Peter all over again. And we love Peter. So then after Cassie talks to her father, she says, I know what I have to do. I have to go home. And can I just say that Cassie and her family, they are so smooth with this scam. They planned this so beautifully. Kris Jenner, you have competition. You have competition because Cassie's daddy is good. Like, I was watching this whole thing go down and I was just like, bravissimo. Bravissimo freaking Mo. This was such a good move. And then I also thought, what number is this now? Cassie, Sydney, Elise, Heather. Who was the other one who left the show? Was that it? Was it 4 women who left? I feel like I might be missing another woman. Or it could have just been 4, but I'm just like, Colton, all of these women are voluntarily leaving the show. How? You are fine. You know what I mean? Like, you are 6'5", built like a Mack truck, got a good smile, seem like you come from some money. How are you not a catch? Like, what is going on? Because he has like 2 top qualities that women look for in men. Tall and tight. You know what I mean? Tall and thick. You know, like, bam. We love that. We love when a man holds us in them big biceps. We draw ourselves in and fall all apart. And then he lifts us up. We're like, oh my gosh, put me down. I got on heels. You know what I mean? We love that. He has the top 2 qualities that women look for in men. And I'm like, he ain't got money. Like, this, but what's going on? Why are women just leaving this show? You know how hard it is for a woman to leave a man that's 6'5"? That's hard. That's hard. You know, I just thought of the guy that I used to date that was he 6'5"? No, he was 6'4". Terrible dude. Terrible dude. Every time I wanted to break up with him, I thought about that freaking height. That is important. Paul Bunyan's have privilege. Okay, so now we get down to this fantasy suite. Colton is ready. You know what I mean? Because in his mind, he thinks that he's about to clap Cassie's cakes, right? Cassie, knowing good and well that she's leaving, shows up looking sickening. She has on like this silver, like kind of sparkly metallic bodycon dress, these bad heels that make her legs look sickening, nice little cat eye hair, flowing lips, pouted, highlighted to the gods. You show up looking like this to break up with a dude, sis, you know exactly what you're doing. And you know what? I'm here for it. So she shows up and she sits down or whatever, and they're talking. And she just essentially tells Colton that, you know, she's confused. And she doesn't feel like she can stay here confused. And she just can't get there with him. When she said that to him, I said, did you just tell? Come on, Cassie. Did you just tell the freaking lead of the show, the Bachelor, I just don't think I can get there with you? You took his line, switched it up, and said it to him. She put herself in the position of the Bachelor. Give this girl the position. I want to see it. I want to see it. This was planned so beautifully. I was sitting there like clenching my bedazzled glitter pillow, and I was like, Cassie, what are you doing? Girl, I could not look away from the TV screen. She told Colton, I just can't get there with you. You know, so, you know, I'm going to go. And then, did you see Colton's face when Cassie told him that her father showed up, surprised her, and talked to her about her decision? Colton got heated. He was pissed because he didn't know about this. He immediately looked over at a producer. The evil eye that he gave this producer, that producer probably died on the spot because that look that Colton gave him or her was deadly because he didn't know. He had no idea that that father showed up. And where are they at? In Europe or wherever. Can I just say, we have to stop going to Europe. Every time we go to Europe, it is an unexpected breakup. Like the same thing happened with Rachel. Her and Peter were fine until they got to Europe. All of a sudden, he was the top contender. He got cold feet and backed out. Every time the Bachelor or the Bachelorette goes to Europe, the one that they want gets cold feet. Stop going to Europe. Go to Jamaica next season. Anyway, Colton now realizes that he's getting scammed on his own damn season because he keeps on trying to convince Cassie, because this is the thing. Colton has played the game the whole time. You know what I mean? Stringing women along because this is a job. This is what you have to do. You got to take 3 women to the fantasy suite, period. Those are the rules. Even though you're not feeling certain broads, you got to take these 3 women, and the one that you really want is going as well. So Cassie is the one that he always wanted. from jump. Cassie is the one that he wanted. So he was like trying to convince her. He was just like, I know I want you to stay. Like he was saying everything but telling her that I'm choosing you. Like he went off script and he was just like, please, you know, just stay, like begging her. The Bachelor is begging her to stay. At this point, I'm like, how are you going to tell us that you can pick somebody else? How are you going to tell us that where you're at with Cassie, you're not there anymore. You're there with Tay Tay or you're there with Skipper. Boy, bye. Like, I'm just like, oh, so this is the chick that you want to choose. Because you weren't acting like that with Tay Tay. We've never seen you act like that with Skipper. You are literally telling Cassie, I'm going to pick you, please stay. And Cassie still won out. He has begged her. He is trying to cry. His body is shaking. And Cassie is just like, well, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And she gets up and goes. Gets up and goes. This power play that she just did, guys, listen, I want Hannah G. I want Tay Tay. Who else do I want? At this point, I feel like I wanted Elise from the beginning, but I feel like it's been so long. I don't think we really like remember her that much. So for me, it was either Tay Tay or Hannah Beast, but I'm liking Cassie. Cassie will give us a show. She will give us a show. This move, I wasn't ready. I was not ready for this. So she gets up and eliminates herself. Guys, what? And didn't look back. Yes, girl. And before I get to the fence jump, can we talk about how Colton kissed Cassie in hopes to like change her mind, and it didn't? All it did was confirm for her that she still did not want to be here. He was like begging her, guys. Begging her to stay, and he's just like, we don't have to get engaged, like it's okay, like we can just date, like telling her that he will break the rules of this show just to be with her. And as he's saying all this stuff to her, I'm looking at him and I'm like, Colton, absolutely not. This is The Bachelor. We want an engagement. We want a ring. We want a love story. We are not watching you this whole season for you to leave this show with a freaking girlfriend or a long distance buddy that you got a crush on. Excuse me, you better take that over to MTV and date around. This ain't no dating around show or network. This is ABC, baby. We want you to get married. Gonna try to shortchange us for Cassie's cakes. Boy, bye. Cassie gets up and she just walks away. Colton goes after her or whatever, and they're walking. He's still trying to convince her. It doesn't work. She looks at him and she says, I hope you find someone that's insanely in love with you. Y'all, Colton almost fell apart. Like, I mean, his knees got weak when she said that. I was like, sis, okay, Cassie, it's enough. You have got to stop turning the knife. The man is dead. Put him in the grave. He's done. Like, she just kept on killing him. Like, this dude is begging you to stay. You know that he wants you. He's telling you that he'll change the rules of the freaking show just so he can be with you. You still get up and leave, and then you tell him that you hope you find someone that's insanely in love with him. Basically letting him know, I hope you find someone that loves you the way you love me, because I don't. Cassie, girl, I think you got this freaking rose. I think you got the bachelorette position, because I'm a viewer. I'm also somebody who's in the entertainment industry, in front of the camera and behind it. And like, just with my producer hat on, I'm like, this is some good freaking TV. This girl was hitting every story arc and I was here for it. And can we talk about how Colton, towards the end of this, was giving me Lifetime Movie of the Week. You know, that stalker who stalks girls in college and doesn't let up until like one of them is dead. Can we be real? He was giving me that. I was just like, that girl said no. She's not interested. Let her leave. Like, in the beginning, I'm getting it. You know what I mean? Like, you're fighting for your love. But she is clearly stating that she does not want you. She is not in love with you. She is not there. She has been open and honest about that from the beginning. She hasn't been open and honest about being the Bachelorette, but we see the plan now, and I'm not mad at it. So anyway, she keeps on telling him no. She doesn't want to be with him, and he's just like, even if you leave, I'm not going to stop fighting for you. Excuse me. Now we're getting into a territory that's a little bit alarming. No, it's okay. You don't got to fight for me. I told you no. Don't fight. There's nothing to fight about. It's like this idea where men think that no means yes. Yes only means yes when I say freaking yes. It's always no means no, buddy. My yes is my yes and my no is my no. You have to accept that. He wasn't accepting it. he would not let that girl leave. Like, she had to like forcibly break free of him. And she probably ran to the freaking Uber X and was like, get me the hell out of here. Please let me go to my family's hotel because the family is there. And I guarantee you that after Cassie gave her Oscar-winning performance in her confessional, she went and joined her family in their hotel, and they probably vacationed all over Europe on ABC's dime. Catch! The scammer got out-scammed. Cassie out-scammed the scam king. We got to give her the bachelorette position. She did all the work. She did all the work that we needed her to do. So now let's talk about the fence jump. Colton is heated. Cassie has left. She's not coming back. He goes into his little bungalow and he has a whole breakdown, rips off the mic, then takes off running in his church shoes. Nobody can find him. Finally, the cameras find him, and Chris Harrison starts chasing him and like, Colton, what's going on? Let's talk or whatever. This man, I don't even think he used his hands. Like, in one swoop, like just jumped over the fence like it was nothing. And can I tell you, I think Chris Harrison was as turned on as the rest of America when Colton jumped that fence. Because when he jumped the fence, Chris Harrison was just like, wow. He jumped the fence. And I said, oh, you feeling the same thing I'm feeling, Chris? Are you feeling the same damn thing? Because that was hot. And I can't even stand Colton. But that, let a man do that in front of me. Child, a man that I'm feeling, getting me pregnant. Anyway, so we get the preview for next week. And guys, I'm kind of feeling like with the way that Hannah Skipper, with the way she was crying and packing and the way Tay Tay was falling apart, I feel like that Colton is probably going to leave this season being the new Ari. I really believe that, because how are we going to forgive him after he breaks their hearts? Because that's what's probably going to happen. I think what's probably going to happen is that that door that he was knocking on was Cassie's. And I'm thinking that he's probably telling her that I want to be with you. We don't have to get engaged, no pressure there, but I want to date you. I want to be with you. You're somebody that I'm in love with, and I want to see where this can go. So let's leave together. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. And then maybe Chris Harrison is going to tell Tay Tay, and then he's probably going to tell Skipper that how that goes down, and that's going to be heartbreaking. At the end of the day, we are going to get two Beccas getting their heart broken on national TV. And you know what? I just thought about that. That may just hurt Hannah Beast. That may just hurt her chances of becoming the Bachelorette. Because word on the street is that she was the next Bachelorette. But I'm just thinking, if Colton breaks Tay Tay and Skipper's heart on the same day, the role is probably automatically going to go to the two of them. And it's probably going to be between one or the other. And I think because Tay Tay is such a fan favorite, she might get the position. So we will see. Poor Cassie. She cannot break up with this dude enough. Colton will not let this woman go. It is starting to be alarming at this point. That's where the episode ends. I had a good time. I really had a good time. This is another time when I'm watching a show where I wish I could have watched it live with you guys, but you know, it's just not working out like that at the moment. But greater things are ahead, I promise you. And when I can tell you everything that's coming, woo, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Hey, for a change to come. Good things are happening, family. Stay tuned. And before we wrap up, can we talk about how at the end of the credits, when Colton and Tay Tay were eating nuts, and they were eating some European nuts, pun intended, and Tay Tay was just like, oh, I don't like this because this really tastes like a nut. And she was like, I don't like nuts. And Colton looked at her like, oh, you don't like nuts? And I was like, Tay Tay, was you in this fantasy suite reciprocating? You know what? It was a bunch of eating going on in that fantasy suite. I'm done. That's enough for me. See you guys next week. Love you much. Bye.